and welcome to another episode of my Apple Productivity series. My name is Carl Pullein and today we're going to look at Apple Notes Quicknote feature on your Mac OS computer. Now you can also do this on your iPad, but for today's purposes I'm going to show you how to set this up using your Mac OS. Now, back in the day, before we had all this digitalization and computers were really boring and didn't do very much other than work, we used to keep a notepad or a stack of note paper on our desk with a pen so that we could jot down quick telephone numbers, quick requests. We'd even often write our shopping list on there, and we'd probably pick up that notebook and take it to a meeting and start writing out all our meeting notes and bring the pad back, put it on our desk. And at some point we would go through those notes looking for stuff that we needed to do, and possibly, if you were organized, you would add it to your task list. Well, when Apple brought out Quick Notes, particularly on macOS, that gave us the possibility of getting rid of all that paper so that we could just use our Apple Notes for quick notes. I guess this is why Apple called it Quick Notes. And it's a brilliant way of creating what I like to call a daily note. A note that you create every morning when you start work so that you can add all those little bits of information quickly, get it into the system, and then later at the end of the day, when you do your daily planning, you are doing your daily planning, then you can move it all into the right place. You can move project ideas into your project notes, you can move tasks into your task manager, and perhaps put events onto your calendar. And that's what I'm going to show you how to set up today. Now, before we go any further, I would just like to say, if you do get any value from this video, then please help me by clicking on that like button below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, and you want to get all the latest tips, tricks and tips on using Apple's productivity tools, then please subscribe to my channel. Okay, let's go into Apple Notes now and I'll show you how to get this set up. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is you want to be dropping down into the bottom right hand corner. When you move your mouse down there, you'll see a little white box appear. If you tap that, that's going to create a new note. This is what we call a quick note. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add today's date. So that's going to be, what are we? We're looking at the 26th of August, 2022. I'm then going to put a slash, and then I'm just going to call it daily note. I want to be able to find this, so I'm going to title it correctly. Now, I've saved myself a bit of time. If I paste, these are the kind of things that you can add into your daily note. So it could be anything really. And by the way, you can actually make this as long as you want. I like to make these quite long. So I've got my shopping list that I just randomly thought of, and rather than just opening up stuff on my phone, all I had to do was drop down to the menu. So I could just add let's just go into a note, call Steph about next meeting. I could just put that there, and I can just add stuff. Now when I've finished, I can just tap that, and it disappears. Now let's imagine now I'm working in a Pages document, or let's say I'm in Safari, and we're going to pick up some kind of, I'm just looking at something. Now let's go to, I'm just trying to think what we can do. Let's just go into, oops, we're not signed in there. Let's go to the BBC because the BBC will work better. And let's just pick up anything in here. So let's just, I'm trying to find something. Okay, let's go. Let's look on American whiskey. Let's just imagine that I'm loving, I just like American whiskey. So if I go down to the bottom here, I can bring up my quick note, and I can, and this is what I like to do here is, now you may not do it this way, you may have a better way of doing this, but I just like to be able to say, oh, I want to read that later. So I can just drag that in there, and that's in. And I can do this throughout the whole day. I can go looking for all sorts of stuff. I can just add stuff in there and just drop it out like that, and it disappears. So that whatever app I'm in, I can just bring up the quick note by tapping down in the bottom corner, and there we go. I can just quickly add the quick note. Now, the other things that you can do, of course, as you probably know, hopefully, with, let's go back into Safari. Let's go to the BBC. We can go in here. Oops, don't want to go there. That's boring. Politics. No, we don't want to go to politics. Let's go back to our whiskey. And let's just say, oh, I like this image. Or I can find something here. I don't know. Let's just say that I like this particular thing here. I can just go add to quick notes. And that will actually add that story right there, as you can see here. So there's a lot that you can do with your quick note. And this is a daily note. Now, once you've done that, the great thing is what we can do is we can just open up, let's open up notes. And what you'll find, it's already open, sorry. I will just close that one out. Let's open up notes. And what we'll do is we've got our daily note right here. Now, what I'm going to suggest that you do is once you've created that daily note, you're going to see that it's going to be here in quick notes. Now, if you don't move that at the end of the day, tomorrow when you start doing this, you're going to end up with the same quick note. What I do is in my resources section of my notes, I'm just going to drag that to what I call my daily note. And that moves that out. So that's still there, but it's just moved out. Now, what's going to happen is when I go down to the bottom and tap, I end up with a new note. So all I have to do is do that in the morning, and I can start my quick note. And as I said in the introduction, you can add anything in here that just want a reminder, and you can do it really, really quickly. So let's just go back to notes. And so as you can see in here, let's just open up that. So as you can see in this note here, we've got all sorts of stuff that we've thrown into our notes, and we can come back to it later. This is a great way, by the way, of avoiding being distracted by websites that we may want to go back to later in the day and read. It's just there. So there you go. Hopefully that's given you some ideas about how you can use this, the Quick Notes feature in Apple Notes. And by the way, I should point out that this is exactly the same on the iPad, although I should point out that the daily note you create on your computer isn't going to be the same daily note if you try and start a new one. What you would need to do is open up from Quick Notes on your iPad. That should do the trick. I should point out also that you will need to go into Notes settings and make sure that always resume the last quick note is activated when you do your notes, because that is going to be a key part of this note always coming back. If you don't actually have this button checked, it's just going to create a new daily note every time you click down in the bottom right hand corner. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching this video, and it just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week.
Hello, thank you for watching this video. Now, I'm very excited to tell you that the 2022 edition of my Create Your Own Apple Productivity System course is now available. This year, we're utilizing the brand new features in reminders and notes. We're going to be looking at how you can use the tags to create an even better productivity system. We're also looking at how iCloud comes into the picture and your calendar. This is a complete productivity and time management setup that if you're in the Apple ecosystem, I can guarantee is going to make your life so much easier. No more overwhelm, no more stress, no more forgetting events or tasks. It's all going to be there in your own system that I show you how to build. It also includes the time sector system and my brand new notes organization system, Capra. Okay, I hope you get time to join this course, and don't forget, if you're already enrolled in this course, my promise to you is every year it's a free update. I hope you enjoy the course, and it'd be lovely to see you in there.